You are here for the Sitting with My Father 30-day prayer challenge. I am Tamika. I am the leader of God on the Rise, a prophetic heart deliverance ministry, leading believers back to the heart of God in deeper relationship. You are here because we are going through 5 different topics and exploring them in prayer to learn how we can get closer to God in prayer. And those 5 topics are intimacy with God, hearing God, knowing God, trusting God, and following God. So, as we go through these 5 topics, we're going to learn how to draw closer to the Father through prayer and to build our relationship with Him through this way. Um, and the main focus of my entire ministry is relationship with God, is intimacy with God, is going into deeper relationship with God, knowing Him on a deeper level. So that is the purpose for this. That is why we're here. We are on day 4 right now. We did miss a day yesterday. So what we're going to do to make up for that is we're going to consider today, day 4, and we're going to pick up from here. And so our topic for today is Lord, teach me how to cast my cares on you. Teach me how to cast my cares on you. And what that speaks to is confiding in someone. When you're casting your cares on someone, you're confiding in them. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. So we're first going to go to First Peter chapter 5. First Peter chapter 5. And we're going to go to verse 7. Okay, if I can. Uh-oh. I keep passing it, sorry. And I just want to welcome you guys here. I'm so glad you guys are here and you have a desire to grow closer to the Lord in relationship in 2025. And what better time to work on your relationship with God than in a brand new year? Giving God your attention, giving God your heart through prayer for a brand new year. All right, so First Peter chapter 5 verse 7 says, therefore, oh wait, that's not it. Here it is. Casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. All right. Casting your care upon him, for he cares for you. We're going to break that down. First of all, what is to cast? What does it mean to cast your cares? So the word cast, it means an act of throwing something forcefully. So that means you are trying to hurry up and get something away from you. It's either irritating you, bothering you in some way. You're trying to get it away from you. It also means to get rid of or to discard something. So we are casting our cares. We are getting rid of our cares, right? Now, what exactly are cares? So the definition of care, and I thought this was interesting because I don't think I've ever looked this word up before. The definition of care: it's suffering of mind, it's grief, something that is grieving you. It's also something that puts you into a disquieted state of mind where you have no peace and you're anxious. It's something that causes anxiety. It's something that you give painstaking or watchful attention to, meaning you're giving attention to it because it's bothering you, because it's something that you're worried about. So we can see why we need to get rid of these things. It's causing us anxiety, it's causing us pain, it's causing us suffering. We're grieving over these things, right? And to confide in somebody, it just means to trust somebody enough to tell them a secret, to tell them something private. It's giving to the care or protection of another person. So you're trusting another person to protect your secret. You're trusting another person to take it and protect it as if it was their own. Some other words that mean the same as confide, some synonyms: it means to reveal, to uncover something, to expose, to confess. It also means to open one's heart to someone. and it means to unburden oneself too. And I like that one particularly because when you have cares like this that is causing you to be anxious, causing you to grieve, causing you, to feel no peace, you're being burdened by something. You're being weighed down by something, mentally weighed down by something. So you want to unburden yourself, meaning you don't want to be weighed down by this stuff anymore. So the way that we deal with that, the way that God is inviting us to deal with this is to cast those cares, those things that are burning in us, the things that are weighing us down, cast them on Him, give it to Him, throw it away, but throw it on Him. All right. So why? The more that you confess these cares to Him, the more that you take these things to Him that are grieving you, that are bothering you, that are weighing you down, it shows Him, or it shows you, that He can be trusted, that He's safe. And whenever you feel somebody is safe, you feel like it's okay to go back to them. You feel like it's okay to talk to them more. It also builds intimate relationship with God. And we talked about that on the first day, what intimate relationship looks like. It's just a close personal relationship. Um, and so it builds intimate relationship. It builds that intimacy with God. Why? Because intimacy involves trust. It involves being vulnerable. And to be vulnerable simply means you're capable of being physically and emotionally wounded. You're open to attack. You're exposed. You're defenseless. You're powerless. You're unprotected. But when you become vulnerable to God and you allow Him to take these cares, take these things that are weighing you down, take these things that are grieving you and causing you anxiety, what you're doing really is you're becoming vulnerable to God. You're exposing yourself to Him and you're giving Him the opportunity to show you that He can be trusted with what you're dealing with. Not only that, He's the one person in the world who is really able to do something about it. Because, see, we can vent to people all we want to, but if we're being really real, a lot of times when we're venting to people, when we're casting our cares on other people, they can't really help us. They're there as an ear to listen. They're there to allow us to get it out, but they can't really do anything about it. But when we're casting our cares onto God, when we're being vulnerable with Him and intimate with Him in this way, and confessing these things to Him, giving these things to Him that are weighing us down, He can actually do something about it. And that in itself makes it worth it. That makes it worth the vulnerability. It's hard for people to get vulnerable, but that right there makes it worth it. And we're going to go to one more scripture. We're going to go to Psalm chapter 3, verse 3. Psalm chapter 3, verse 3. And it says, "But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory, and the one who lifts up my head." Now, we talked about being vulnerable with God, to cast your cares on God, to expose yourself to Him, to get vulnerable with Him is to expose yourself. You're exposing yourself. You're leaving yourself unprotected. Emotionally, you're leaving yourself unprotected. Spiritually, you're leaving yourself unprotected. Because really, when we first come to God, we don't really know Him. We don't trust Him like that. We trust Him. We trust Him enough to come, but we might not trust Him enough to give Him our entire lives, right? So He has the opportunity to prove what He says here in Psalm chapter 3, verse 3. You, O Lord, are a shield for me. So as we come to Him vulnerable, as we come to Him with our emotions unprotected, with our feelings unprotected, we give God a chance to be a shield over us, to cover us, to protect us in our vulnerability as He takes those cares from us, and we give Him a chance to allow Him to be that protection in that moment where we feel unprotected. So today, our prayer point: teach me, Lord, how to cast my cares on you. Teach me how to be vulnerable with you. Teach me how to pour my heart out to you, to release to you what's burdening me, what's weighing me down, what's grieving me, what's causing me to be anxious. So, by way of announcement, that's all I got for today for day 4. But by way of announcement, starting today, we're going to change the time. Instead of meeting at 7 a.m., we are now going to meet at 7 p.m. So we're going to actually start that today at 7 p.m. The way that's going to work today, when we meet here at 7 p.m., we are going to do day 5. So we're just going to do it a day ahead. So at 7 p.m., we're going to do the prayer points and the teaching for day 5. So then when tomorrow starts, you'll have all that. You'll be ready to go through, do the prayer points, the scripture readings, all that stuff for day 5. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m., we'll start for day 6. So I'll see you back here this evening at 7 p.m., where we're going to go for day 5. Y'all have a great day.